Hi guys, this is Tony here from Metal Ruse. You're about to sit down and enjoy an interview I just did um, over there, and so do like and subscribe so you can get all this straight into your streaming and into your consciousness as soon as it arrives. So enjoy the interview, and I will. Over to you, Tony. Um, you're here for the first time in December coming up.
Yeah, first time ever. So
Yeah.
we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, crazy because you're coming up with Dying Fetus. That's a that's a big lineup.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't. Are there openers on the shows? Do you know, like local
There
bands or
there
something?
will
Or?
be. There will be. I don't think it's been announced yet, but there will be. Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. We're going over there, Dying Fetus, and I think it's been like 12 years since they were last there or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah. It's a brutal lineup. I mean, you've got Dying Fetus is one thing, but you guys are another. So it's it's gonna be quite an extreme experience for the fans.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully it's good, so we can come back many more times.
That's what.
So
Yeah. I'm surprised you haven't been here already. It's one of those, because like when you've been around since 2019, is that right? Around that period is when you
yeah,
started.
but we've only been playing live since 21.
Yeah.
So, but we have gotten offered a whole bunch of times to go over there, but
Mm.
the logistics were not
Oh
it
no,
it,
it
wou- it
is.
wouldn't it wouldn't have been possible for us at that time. So,
Yeah.
but so that's kind of why we had to wait. Same thing for Europe too. We had to wait quite a few years to go to Europe just to make it make sense for us.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, financially these days as well, it's so expensive to
Oh
do
yeah,
this
for
stuff.
sure.
It's not like pennies, is it? Unfortunately.
Oh no.
No. And you got to get the right deal, the right lineup. I mean, this is a good lineup to come with. So, I mean, Dying Fetus are really big over here, and
Yeah. I'm curious to see uh how popular we are over there because when we went to Europe for the first time, I didn't know it was like that big of a deal over there because I knew we had people over there that
mm.
wanted us to come over, but I didn't realize that it was like that serious. So I'm excited to see that in Australia.
Well, it's got a really, really hardcore extreme scene here. So I think you'll be more surprised, uh, even more surprised with it. You know.
Yeah. Because I know a couple of our buddies' bands, they've been over there, and I think they've headlined over there. If I'm not wrong about that, I think a couple of our friends' bands went over there and headlined, and the shows were really, really good. So I think us being with Fetus will give us even more of an advantage anyway. So for the shows to be awesome. So we're
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
And I mean, obviously you had your album out last year. Um, Manic came out last year.
Yeah.
Is that the one you'll be mainly featuring, do you think, or the material before across the three
No,
the two albums and EP?
yeah, we're gonna try to do a bit of everything. I'm not sure exactly how long we have to play, but we're gonna try to do as much of everything as we can in that amount of time. Mostly because like over here, it's not that big of a deal if we have to cut a bunch of songs because we toured so much over here
Mm.
that it's kind of better that way anyway. But for people that have never seen that before, I think it's really important to give them a little bit of everything because I cannot stand when I go to see a band for the first time and they play all this shit, but then leave all that other stuff out.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
and
I know.
they're probably never going to play again or they haven't played in a long time. What I can't stand that. So we're going to try to make it a pretty diverse set list as far as like all the releases go. But I think we have a pretty good idea of what we're going to play. So I think it'll go over really well.
Be interested to see how you come across live because you're very atmospheric in a lot of your work. You know, it
Yeah.
is brutal and it's extreme, but there's a lot of atmosphere. It's an old school atmosphere in there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
interesting to
I
see how you bring that to a live show.
I think from what I've heard from people, because obviously I've never seen us play live,
Mm.
obviously, but from the people's point of view, from what they tell me or what I read, is that it's very hard to capture what we do live on record. So when people see us live, it's like a million times better, and I can agree with that too. I think we're because in the studio it's just so robotic and it's just so like you got a guy staring at you through a window clicks a button. It's not like the show,
Mm.
So I think we're, by all means a live band for sure. So I think the people over there are gonna like us even more after we play the show.
Brilliant, because I mean I really loved that last album. Like I think it's better than I mean the growth in your band over the two albums and the EP is quite astonishing. Um, do you have a different producer for the second album?
No, no, it was the same guy. It was the same
Mm.
guy. The only thing was is that when we did that second record was so when we did the first record,
Mm.
we had never when we recorded it, we had never even played live before.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, because we had already had the EP out, but then the COVID shit happened,
Mm.
and then we're like waiting to see where it all went. We're like, fuck, well, we're not gonna be able to play any shows or tour because that's when stuff was kind of starting to go crazy for us. So we were like kind of holding off, like, well, fuck, let's just go out and like do these like small like whatever wherever we can. We'll play someone's garage, if we have to, and we'll just play these 4 songs plus like whatever some of the newer stuff we had, but that didn't end up happening. So when we recorded that first record, we had no live experience with this music.
Mm.
So going into the second record, you know, even with the writing, we had already toured like a shit ton off that first record. When we were finally able to get out and do it, we did. So we had a pretty good idea of what people like. Because like a song I like, I thought that was going to be the biggest one or like the most popular one because that's what I thought. But it ended up being the least popular, and the one that I didn't really like that much ended up being the one that people react to the most live. So we kind of took that into our writing too. It's like obviously we're gonna write what we like, but then it's like, well, how can we make this even more groovy? Because that's what people I think like about us is that we have a lot of that groove.
You do. Yes,
So
you do. Yeah.
we took a lot of that and put it in the last record we did because we knew that's what was going to get the people and it's fun for us too. So
Yeah, because it's interesting you said that because I didn't know that, and so you can when I think back now, listening to that album, if I listen to it again afterwards, I'll now know that you have that little bit of touring behind you, which gives you a bit more confidence.
for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
and I think that's really interesting because I've never known that a band to do that, so it's quite new for me to hear that kind of thing. So, um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
It was strange for us too, but I do think that it gave us kind of an advantage anyway because it gave people time, especially with everyone being stuck at home and everything.
mm,
I feel like people started to appreciate music a little bit more than they did before anyway.
mm.
So you had that, and then it also gave time for the music that we did have out to settle into people's minds. And then when we finally do come out and do a show, I got to go see it. I got to go see this band. So I think it worked out for the better. And I think also us waiting to come to Australia this many years, even though we've been offered Australia before, but like I
Mm.
said, it just wasn't going to work. But I think us waiting this long will give us that advantage too.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. You're right. The audience is going to get a better show in that respect because of your
yeah,
experience. But I think so. Listening to particularly again talking about the last album, Manic. Listening to that, um, you're very difficult to. It's not an easy. You're not an easy band to put a label on. I hate labels. Right? It's not for me. I don't give a shit about labels. But you're
yeah,
not. You're not an easy band to put labels on. You know what I mean? Like your album is so diverse from track one right to the end.
yeah,
You can't just say, "Oh, this is just a death metal band." It doesn't give you the justice, you know.
yeah, yeah. When people ask what we are, it's like because I'm the same way you are. I don't like labels at all. Like I'm not gonna be like, well, we're a brutal grinding death metal band. I'm not gonna say that. I call us when I describe it to people, we're just a metal band because we
Yeah,
have literally I think every kind of subgenre aspect in a lot of our songs throughout the records. So, and then even more so with the next one that we're working on now, it has like I think maybe the one element that we were kind of missing, um, which we kind of have a little bit, but not too much, which is like some more melodic stuff. So,
yes,
so that's like kind of the stuff. A lot of the songs we have now, they're very like moody, like melodic kind of stuff, and we're gonna experiment with that a little bit. So, but yeah, I just call us a metal band because that's really what we are.
good, yeah,
And we even have like hardcore stuff in there too, which people for some reason hate that, you know.
Oh no,
But
why? Okay.
I don't know. I mean, people, you know, I hear all the time people say that we are hardcore kids playing death metal, which is like, who the fuck cares? Because I mean, yeah, that's where I came from. I come from hardcore, so it's
Yeah.
like, but I've always listened to metal, you know. So it's like,
It's a
who
natural
cares?
progression. Yeah.
It's heavy music.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
cares?
Are you going to say that?
So
Is that same person going to say that to Lee Doran? Are they going to say the same thing? Yeah, I don't
right,
think so.
right.
Somehow, right?
Or even like a band like Obituary. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not as maybe straightforward as maybe what we would do, but they have some hardcore elements in their stuff. But no one says that about Obituary. You know
No.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's strange. I just think it's because we're a newer band, but whatever.
Maybe, but also I think more so anything these days, people are becoming very single focused. They're not open minded. You know what I mean? And I think the internet's part of that problem. But
Yeah, I
uh,
just I
yeah,
I think the internet is definitely part of that problem, and I think also that once our music settles in, like I think after a couple of years pass, because I mean it's already been a year since the last one,
mm,
and when that one came out, there's a lot of people who liked it, obviously, you know, but there was also a whole like section of people that were not very pleased with what we were doing,
ugh,
but now when you know when we read about it or whatever, someone you know like a metal blog site will post about the record, like there's comments everywhere, like, oh, this is a classic. Like, okay, well now they like it. So I think, especially with this next one, I think that there's going to be a whole bunch of more people that probably are going to be pretty disappointed because we're known for this thing, but now we're working on doing this thing because we don't want to stay stagnant. But I think after a couple of years pass on pretty much all of our music, I think it'll be appreciated a little bit more than when it first comes out. I
no,
think.
yeah. Well, good. I think that's often the case, because people don't like change, and as a musician, would you want to be AC/DC, like do the same thing all the time? I mean, no
Right.
disrespect to them; they're good at what they do, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it would be mind numbing for you creatively,
Yeah.
So the fans have just got to. I mean, like you said, they'll go, "I'm not sure." How many times have you heard an album where you go, "I'm not sure," and then you put it back on 6 months later, you go, "Gee, that's so good, man. What was I doing?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't really give that enough time."
Well, the example that I always bring up when talking about that kind of thing is I obviously wasn't alive, but I'm like a huge Slayer fan,
Yeah,
right? So
same.
like so I read stuff about that time and I when South of Heaven came out, everyone hated it.
Oh,
But now it's
yeah.
a classic.
It's actually one of my favorites. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Same.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Again, talk about melodic, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Completely different feel, right?
Right.
And again, that's where the wonderfulness about extreme music is. That there's no boundaries, and there shouldn't be boundaries.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be any boundaries. Why? It's the wild frontier of music for me. And
Yeah.
if we put boundaries on it, we might as well just be record company shields, right? Just
No, exactly, exactly. So I just think you know, I just think with the stuff that we're working on now, I just think we're trying to because I know what people are going to say. They're going to go, oh, well, they're just, they're, like we're genre hopping or whatever,
nah.
But it's not. But it's like a lot of these people don't know that we've already listened to bands like Dissection for a very long time,
Mm,
or bands like that, that do that melodic kind of stuff. And even when we got into the more groovy stuff, on the last record, it was like, well, we've already been listening to Wolverine Blues for years.
brilliant.
But you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Where's this
yeah.
coming from? We've already been listening to this stuff. We just didn't have a chance to get it in our music. You know what I mean? It wasn't
Yeah.
the right time. So,
Oh,
so,
yeah,
so, so it's like if you were to hear one of these songs that we have now for this next record, you're gonna see exactly why we wouldn't have been able to put that song on the first record.
yeah.
So there's been a lot of
Absolutely.
things like that. Like there's been a couple songs from the last record that we did that I already had written
Yeah,
when we had the first record out, but I was like, let's just wait till the next one because it doesn't work with these songs.
yeah.
You know. So
I do love progression in a band. That's what I want to hear. Um,
yeah.
thanks for coming on. I'm sorry I have to let you go, but
Oh, you're good.
good luck with the tour coming up in December. I'm hopefully to be at the Sydney show. I shall be hopefully there. You're playing at Auckland, so you're going to start in New Zealand first, and then you go Adelaide, Hobart, Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. So wow, some
Yeah.
major cities, nice spread of countries of the
Oh
country,
yeah.
New Zealand, Australia. So you're going to
Yeah.
get a bit of the antipodes for you.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. But thanks for having me, though.
Oh, it's a pleasure, man. Safe travels, yeah, and good luck.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Bye, mate.
Bye.